What's up, everybody? Welcome to NG Plus, IGN's live daily news show. I'm Damon Hatfield, and I'll be your guide for today. I'm joined by one of our news hounds, Jonathan Dornbush.
I'm a hound?
One of our social hounds,
Bark,
Bark.
Woof.
And our mad scientist back there, Jeremy, is going to help us stay on track today.
I'm not a hound of any kind.
No, he's a mad scientist. Lots to get through today. It's a pretty good news day. Definitely some Call of Duty news, some Mortal Kombat news, but we're calling an audible to talk about a big story that's popping off on the charts right now on IGN.com. Jeremy, what is it?
Well, tell me, man. You sprung this on me 2 seconds ago.
Okay, sorry. We learned today, Reggie Fils-Aimé, he of former Nintendo.
Yes.
Nintendo of America. Boss, CEO?
President
of Nintendo of America. He is now joined, in his retirement, has joined the board of directors at GameStop.
Yeah. Oh.
And I think,
as a hound.
Big woof.
I think why,
Big woof.
oof. I think why people are surprised by this is that Reggie's a very well-respected man in the industry, in the video game industry.
I like where you're going here.
Among the video game executives, he might be the most beloved.
Yeah.
Sure.
And GameStop is not a very well-respected entity in the games industry. Widely recognized as a sinking ship, so I think people are like, it's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. It's one thing to note, I think, so he'll be joining the board of directors. We don't know what capacity they are involved in the day-to-day of GameStop.
Yeah.
This is not.
It's not like he's now an employee who's going into an office every day to GameStop.
This is not his full-time job. He'll still be contributing to public speaking performances or appearances that he's been doing. He'll still be, I believe, giving. He's been doing some classes at Cornell, I believe. I forgot what school, but he's been working.
Oh, he's teaching.
Sorry,
He's just auditing some classes at Cornell.
Yeah, he's hanging out in class. No, but he's still been involved in academia, and he's still going to continue to do those things. But this will just be another responsibility he's taking on, seemingly in an advisory way, as GameStop tries to right the ship before it's too late. Though some may argue it might be too late already.
It's already too late, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, does he have actual, like, numbers results? I mean, everybody just loves Reggie, right? I mean, like, they're seeking, I mean, you were saying, like, he's beloved, and, I mean, he's got a great personality and all, but, like, can he actually up retail, sales?
I think he did a good job at Nintendo.
And at Papa John's, he turned them around.
Are you sure it wasn't Pizza Hut?
Maybe it was Pizza Hut.
Oh, so he
Pizza
turned around
Hut.
Pizza
One of those.
Hut, and then he
Yes,
turned
Pizza
around
Hut.
Nintendo, so
Never
he's
forget.
got a good track record.
Yeah.
He invented the Bigfoot pizza.
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh.
He knows how to market. So
Okay.
They're in desperate need of knowing how to market right
They
now.
are in desperate need.
Well, and we did have our reporter Matt Kim put up a really big, in-depth report. Basically,
You guys, I looked this up. I just want to verify.
Yeah.
It's Pizza Hut.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Apology accepted.
Yes. We put up a really big in-depth report from Matt Kim sort of about how GameStop is trying to tackle righting the ship. And so seemingly bringing on some new fresh blood into their board of directors, and obviously someone with such experience in the industry seems to be, a continued step in that direction. But we don't really know what their long-term plans are going to be beyond experimenting with these new store types.
Yeah. The number one comment on our article on IGN from SilverAxe13 says, honestly, if anyone's going to save GameStop, it's Reggie.
Yeah, I mean, all the comments on Twitter, we just posted on Instagram, like, everybody's, like, pretty confident that, like, Reggie could turn this around, if anybody.
But it's not going to be his sole responsibility.
It's not. The other people got put on the board with him, right?
Yeah, there were a couple other board members added, and obviously there's an existing board,
Right.
though some people will be stepping down. But yeah, it'll be, I think of all the hires they could make, he's not a bad one to include in trying to figure things out. Obviously, he did pretty well over at Nintendo of America, so.
There's a commenter on Twitch, The Living Ted, that says they must be paying him a ton of money. To which I would ask, what money? Like, how can they afford this?
How can they afford Reggie?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Does this give you any indication that Reggie would believe in GameStop? Like, does he believe there's a future for GameStop? Why would he join the board if
His
not?
statement implies that, yeah, I definitely think he believes it, and I think GameStop probably believes in him to help.
Well,
yeah.
I think, like, on a, as silly as this is, at least in talking directly to a hardcore demographic of gamers, like, he is not a bad person to bring into your fold.
Sure.
Like, he has so much goodwill behind him from everything he did at Nintendo, and so to have him, as part of your board is not a bad way to say, hey, we're trying to connect with you, whether that's,
And they also added the CEO of PetSmart. which I think is also a smart move. When has
Well,
think about it. Well, think about it though. PetSmart is like you
They
won't.
made pets popular.
Yeah, and like you're always gonna want to go into a PetSmart rather than like shop online. I feel like, right? I feel like it's one of those type of retail stores where it's just you gotta be there to
But
get
that's
the
so you
thing.
can meet animals. You can't meet
That's
animals
Yeah.
at GameStop.
But
Or can you?
Or can you?
A different type
See?
of animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. PetSmart, I don't know. They can bring it back.
PetSmart can bring it back.
I mean, the PetSmart CEO can help GameStop bring back people into their stores. Yes.
GameStop's plan is to reinvent its retail stores with
Yes.
sort of like community
Getting people to come into the
gamer
store. Yeah.
centers.
Animals,
With animals.
live animals,
You're onto
or
something there.
Yeah, I mean, they do
Live
have
games.
different store types right now that they're experimenting with. Some are more based around nostalgia, some are based more on competitive gaming, some are just meant to be sort of flagship stores people come into and play games. We'll see if those work out, but obviously this is something they're really trying to connect with, I think, customers coming back to them repeatedly. So we'll see if the PetSmarts are there for them.
The Living Ted says, "Are we saying gamers are like animals? If that's so, I am a goblin."
Is that an animal?
I don't know if that
I don't
counts
think
as
a
a goblin.
I don't think that counts at all. No.
No.
We're not gonna accept that.
goblins aren't
Living Ted.
animals.
Goblins are humanoids.
Rejected.
Sorry.
Okay, anyway, Reggie joined the board of directors for GameStop today. We'll see how that goes. We now resume our regularly scheduled NG Plus programming, which was originally going to begin with, Jeremy?
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Warzone Battle Royale. We had originally reported that it would reportedly be free to play. It is now verified. It's going to be a free to play Battle Royale game.
Yeah, this is Modern Warfare's long-rumored Battle Royale mode. Briefly leaked earlier today that it was going to be launching tomorrow, and then Activision came out and
Is it
confirmed
even accurate to even call it Modern Warfare at this time? At this point, is it just like Call of Duty Warzone?
Just Call
Full
of
stop.
Duty. Well,
at this point.
It's essentially, as far as we know, sort of going to be attached to the Modern Warfare launcher, as far as we know right now.
Yeah, okay. It's a little bit confusing because this Battle Royale mode is free to play.
Yes.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare is not.
Right.
Yes.
But so do you download a portion of Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Because you access it through the main menu in Modern Warfare.
So my guess is you'll be able to download that icon now regardless, and then to access the other portions of it, you'll have to pay money. That's basically what you've had to do with Fortnite.
Yeah, but if
to
you
play
want
something
if you want to play just Warfare, do you have to download the entire game? That's like a huge,
Which is like
it's a-
110 gigs.
Yeah.
gigs.
Well, we don't.
huge file.
I mean, so that mode isn't yet available. It'll be available tomorrow as
Okay.
we're talking. So it's possible that there will be a new version that can be downloaded.
Okay.
Like an update to the launcher, and then if you purchase it, then you download all of that extra data.
Okay.
Jonathan, a lot of the people were saying on the article and on the video post that we're playing right now that this is a totally separate download. It almost is like a completely separate product, but that it shares some currency or something. Is that accurate to say? Can you just download this on its own even if you don't have Call of Duty?
I'm gonna check
If it is free to play,
Yeah.
it would have to be a standalone product.
I'm going to check the full press release of their FAQ just to get it exactly right. I don't want to misspeak on that, so I'll look that up as you guys talk about the rest of the announcement.
Well, I was trying to think of another example of a AAA premium game that had a free-to-play mode that launched after it, and I couldn't think of anything. We were talking about this earlier today. Some people brought up Fortnite, but the original Fortnite Save the World launched into early access, which you did have to pay for, and then the Battle Royale mode came later. I couldn't think of something like that's Call of Duty AAA retail release that added on a free-to-play mode.
Yeah, I can't think of one either. This could be, we might be on the brink of a new frontier of, gaming pricing and whatnot. I mean, it worked for Fortnite, for sure.
Well, yeah, definitely.
We were talking about the nearest, maybe if you really stretch, is that Apex kind of maybe started development as
As a
Titanfall,
Titanfall
of
game.
sorts.
That's
It
interesting.
uses some assets or tech, but in the end, it's a totally different product. So
Yeah.
like I said, that's a stretch.
So yeah, according to the official Activision blog, sort of about the information on downloading, for owners of the full version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Warzone will replace the previously named classified panel in the main menu.
Gotcha.
So people will be able to access from the game. For non-owners of the full version, Warzone will be available to download free in respective first-party stores starting as early as 12 p.m. Pacific. So you can head to the stores of the PSN or Xbox Live and search for Warzone, and you will specifically download Call Call of Duty Warzone. Warzone is a 83 to 101 gigabyte download for new free-to-play users.
That's how much the Modern Warfare is.
Yeah.
It's a big map. What are you going to do?
It's the whole game.
Yeah.
Well, because probably they're going to incentivize you to try to buy the other stuff.
Unlock the full game.
Yeah, probably that'll be in there.
Wow.
I would not be shocked.
Sneaky.
I mean, now that if it's going to be free, does that like entice you to want to try it out in any way?
Well, Jonathan
Warzone.
likes another Battle Royale game.
And so did Josh likes
Yes,
another Battle Royale from that.
That's also free.
Yes.
They're all
We both
free.
like free battle
battle
royales.
royales.
Do I like free battle royales that are 180 gigs? Like,
Yeah, that's going to be a little while.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I'll probably, because for me, jumping into a new Battle Royale is kind of an investment. Like, I've been playing Fortnite for a few months now, and I play Fortnite. I'm not skipping around to a bunch of other Battle Royales. For me, I like to sort of invest in one. So I will likely wait to see how people feel this mode is doing, whether it seems like it could use some updates and things like that. I've, really enjoyed Call of Duty experiences in the past and heard great things about Blackout, the last Battle Royale they did, though I didn't play it myself. So if they do a great job with this out the gate, I'll definitely give it a try. But I'm not going to probably jump immediately into it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like how you don't have to, front a monetary risk to try out this game.
For sure.
You just gotta wait out that download time,
Yeah.
which is insane to me. Like, why? If you're gonna try to get people to jump in on your game, especially if you're gonna make it for free, why is the size so big? You don't need to make it that big.
I'm going to look up how big Apex is.
Size of Warzone is too high.
We got somebody in the comments with a couple answers to your earlier question.
What's that?
About games that have gone free to play.
Oh, yeah.
Destiny 2, New Light.
Yeah,
That's
but
one.
Wait, is New Light just a mode in Destiny 2? Is all of Destiny 2 free to play?
Destin's the only person on Earth that still plays that, so I don't know. We'd have to ask him. He also says, Semiotic says Dead or Alive 5 and 6. I think you can play for free Dead or Alive, but then you have to pay like hundreds of dollars to get all the characters and all those pervert costumes.
It's all the
the
pervy costumes that you got to pay for.
Yeah,
And
Why
That's where
is
you gotta
every
come
show
with
I'm
the
on talk
cash.
about these costumes? Apparently, Apex, you just need a minimum on PC at least of 22 gigs of free space. So obviously, that is a much bigger gap.
Yeah.
Depending on your download speeds and your hard drive space and stuff, that can be a big ask.
What's the download for Fortnite?
It's like 30, I think. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Mario Madness says DOA charges you $25 for a hair change. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but not by much.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week.
Dead or
Were you
Alive.
guys here last week? If so, thank you.
Welcome back.
We're here every day at 4 p.m. Pacific. Jonathan as a
Yes.
Fortnite guy and Josh as an Apex guy. Does Warzone sound appealing to you? It's a 150-player battle royale, supports solo, duo, and three-person teams. 2 modes, the traditional fight to the last player standing, and then a plunder mode that is focused much more on collecting cash. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love to collect cash?
It's one of my favorite things to do.
Part of life. I do like that they're upping the number battle royale in like 150,
150.
not just 100.
Yeah.
I do sort of like the interesting thing that they're adding the gulag, where essentially if you get killed, that's not automatically an out for you. There will be 1v1 matches that you may get placed into, where you and another player face off, and whoever wins has a chance to then come back, essentially.
Oh, that's fun.
So things like that, they're adding an interesting twist to it, and I'm willing. That stuff is, I think, what interests me the most, because at the end of the day, like, I've played games where I'm with 99 other people, and we're all trying to fight it to get first place. But
Yeah.
the twists and the changes they're making to it are what excite me the most.
Yeah. I will play it on one of two conditions. Okay. One, if it comes out and everybody really likes it and they're like, you got to play it, I'll try it out. 2, if the download size is smaller. That's all. Or 3, if someone gives me, a console that already has it, like, I'm good.
If someone handed you a console,
yes.
Pre-installed.
Yeah, no, I don't want it on my own console. Give me a console that already has it, and I'll play it.
You know what I keep thinking about when I hear about this story? This could make a lot of money for them, right? Like,
Sure.
Fortnite makes an incredible amount of money. Apex makes an incredible amount of money. If this makes so much money that all of their development resources have to be put towards this, are we even going to still see annual Call of Duty releases? Because what's the point then? It's a big seller, but look at GTA. Part of the reason why we don't have a new GTA is because GTA Online is just making cash left and right. So,
Yes.
like, what incentive do they have to release a new product?
Well, because every single year Call of Duty is the best-selling game of the year.
Yeah.
Even when they don't have a campaign, even when it's a multiplayer-only game. And then we write headlines about how Call of Duty is the best-selling game of the year.
Exactly.
It'd be hard for them to give that up, I think.
I think no matter how successful this mode is from the start, like even if Warzone becomes the biggest game in the world and is doing crazy, I still think they're going to release another yearly installment of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But if they see significant drops in the sales of those, that's when they may decide a different game plan. But
Yeah, I think it's already in like the culture's like mind and expectation that there's always going to be a new Call of Duty game. So even if they come out with this new mode and everybody's playing it, it's going to die down because they're like, oh, might as well just wait for the next game.
Yeah, and maybe Warzone persists and it just ties into the next Call of Duty in some way.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing against Blackout, was that it essentially was part of Black Ops. And so this, they're diversifying it, and so that way they can keep an audience going no matter what, and then just find continual ways to be like, hey, do you want a new multiplayer mode? Hey, do you want another campaign? You can easily cross-promote that in Warzone.
Yeah. You've got 3 really successful Battle Royales already running: Fortnite, Apex, PUBG. Is there room for a 4th?
I mean, we didn't have Apex until early last year.
That's true.
So
That's true.
Yeah, and it's Call of Duty.
Josh sort of pointed out the answer, right? It depends on how much the peer pressure comes down.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Like
That is true.
You're going to play what your friends are playing.
Yep.
And if all your friends are playing this new game, like you got to make time for it somehow.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, if it's trendy and everyone's playing it, it'll catch on.
For sure.
Yeah, except that I guess it's going to be rated M, I would assume.
Probably.
It's Call of Duty. And
Yeah.
Titanfall. Apex, do you know if Apex Legends is rated T for teen?
I
don't know.
don't know actually.
I assume PUBG is rated M, so.
Yeah. I think Apex. I don't recall ever seeing blood. This,
No blood
this
in it.
gun.
Apex is rated teen.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, let me look up if they've said Warzone's rating. Because presumably it'd have to be...
I don't know how it would be possible to do this PG or PG-13.
Yeah, I mean,
what do I do in
Yeah.
movies?
of Duty.
Teen. It couldn't possibly be teen. It's too violent.
I would think so too.
And we wouldn't have it any other way. Give me
just
that
think-
sweet, sweet blood.
Yeah, I just think that is an advantage that Fortnite has because it has a more family-friendly T rating.
Speaking of blood, our
Speaking of blood.
chat is going bonkers for Mortal Kombat.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit more specifically, they're going bonkers for Spawn. They may be a little bit disappointed in what we can serve them in
Well, we'll get to
Spawn
Spawn.
specifically.
We'll
However,
get to Spawn. I don't want to give away the whole thing
Okay,
right now.
okay.
We're gonna start with this new trailer. Have you guys seen it?
I've seen it. Has anyone else seen it?
I've seen
parts.
bits. Yeah.
What is this? What is this a
Bits and
trailer
parts.
for?
I'm gonna play this trailer in the background and hope that we don't get in trouble for it because, ooh, baby, is it spicy?
Oh, yeah?
Look out.
It's juicy.
Hide your eyes if you're
It's,
underage.
it's a red
everybody.
band. It's a
This
red
Mortal
band.
Oh,
Kombat
this
animated
trailer.
movie is violent as hell, and we have the red band trailer on our site today.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. I mean,
What are your thoughts
Now
on
let
it?
the silence play as we...
I thought we were just gonna run the trailer, but there's no sound. that
okay,
we're
there we
playing
go.
here. Okay.
There we go. That's Mortal Kombat to me.
Yeah. I like what I'm seeing here. I like fatalities.
Yeah.
I like gory stuff. You don't really. It doesn't take a lot to sell me on something like
And
this.
do I have the game for you?
I mean, yeah.
Mortal
What is
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat without the fatalities and gore and blood, really?
Injustice.
And I mean, no, that's rated T. They obviously are going more over the top than ever with that franchise. So to put it in an animated form where they have complete license to make it as creatively bloody as possible, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's harder to do this kind of stuff. Jeez.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, harder to do this stuff in live action. In animated, you can just go
Can I
balls
just
to the wall
stop you
with
right here?
violence.
Look at how gleefully Sonya Blade just crushes that dude's head.
Yeah. Why not?
And then there's
She's supposed to be angry?
Cage giving the fingies as he's jumping off a cliff or something.
Uh-oh.
It's too naughty.
Red band.
Well, okay, so this is not. It's not as gory as the games have gotten.
No.
The games are even gorier than this.
Yeah.
They skew a little bit more towards a realistic.
Can we pause back at that one? They're marketing bad
Bad
language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a movie be like, by the way, we got
Sure.
bad language?
He says the S word in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the F word?
Look out.
Oh, man.
Look at your ears.
Not the Mortal Kombat the
Frick.
kids liked. Yeah.
We would never ever fucking do that on this show.
Wow.
Never.
Never ever.
We're still PG-13 unless
Yeah.
someone drops another one.
I
we're
mean,
still
yeah,
PG-13.
we get one.
We got one.
Yeah.
This movie looks crazy, you guys.
I'm into it.
I'm super into it.
I don't know
You
who's gonna see it. Because it's direct to video and no one buys Blu-rays or DVDs anymore.
I stopped collecting VHSs a long time ago.
If it appears on Netflix.
Well, it's gonna be available digitally, right? So
Right.
Warner Brothers is putting it out on April 12th. And then I think on April 28th it goes out on physical media. So apparently you can like download it or like rent it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will make it to a service anytime soon. Where does Warner Brothers stuff go? Do they have a special
HBO
license
Max.
with anybody?
HBO Max.
HBO Max in a couple months.
All right.
That would be the place for it.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
There you go. HBO Max.
I expect we'll probably review it here at IGN.
Yeah, I would assume so.
We review all the direct-to-video DC and Marvel shows.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, people love the DC animated films.
Yeah.
So this feels sort of in line with that.
We
But
reviewed Batman Ninja.
what do we give it?
I think it's like a 6. Very good.
There's a lot of people saying that the animation looks a little childish, which I don't know if I agree with that. What do you guys think?
Well,
Does it look like
to me, it has sort of the look of 90s cartoons like
Yeah.
X-Men and
I mean, yeah, the way they're
Batman.
animating in there, especially using the blood and gore and everything, it works to me.
yeah.
It's a little low frame rate though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
As
not like-
expected
yeah.
with like a direct to video, like third
Yeah.
party, like
Sure.
whatever.
I
Yeah.
want 60 frames per second locked. Yeah.
Same. I mean, it's kind of well received on Instagram.
kind of worse.
Kind of well received. It's not popping off super hot, but you know, some of the top comments, one of them is the world needs a Mortal Kombat cinematic universe. What do you guys think?
Wait, a Mortal Kombat cinematic
universe.
I mean, okay.
So could this like
Of Mortal
they,
Kombat
they
characters?
want this to maybe be the start of like a new franchise of
mean,
animated or
There are enough
films.
characters, and I don't know if you guys played Mortal Kombat 11,
Yeah.
but the story mode in there is there's enough characters, there's enough crazy stuff,
Yeah.
explanations to
There's
make
like
more
meta.
than one movie.
It like there's parallel universes.
And time travel,
Time
yeah,
travel.
all that
Right.
stuff,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
aren't they working on a movie? I feel like they've been.
Yes.
They are working
Yeah.
on the live action movie
Yeah.
right now.
What do you
Yeah.
think is the holdup for that? Like,
They
why
recently
haven't we
wrapped
had that yet?
filming.
Oh.
Did they
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. They they've been filming for the last year. They announced the start, or maybe even the beginning of this year. They announced production, I think in Australia, I want to say.
Yeah.
Australia or New Zealand, and one of the actors recently, I think we even did a roundup of them celebrating the end of production. So at least principal photography is over.
What's the movie rated? Did they say the S word and do the middle
would
fingers
imagine.
like
Yeah.
Cage does?
Yeah. They probably at least said damn.
Oh.
I think it's going to be pretty violent based on just the guy who's playing Sub-Zero. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know him. His name is Joe Taslim. He's a Indonesian action star. He was in The Raid and The Night Comes for Us. And I've seen
Okay,
The Raid.
I've seen The Night Comes for Us. Which one is he? You have his,
He
photo
is this guy.
there? Yeah.
That movie was
television.
He's
very
the main. He's like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That movie's very violent. I like this movie.
yeah.
What image are you pulling up? Show the audience, man.
Oh, I just
Showing
googled
it to
Joe
each other.
Taslim.
Joe Taslim. Taslim. He's like the main guy in The Night Comes for Us.
Punching on that
At
right
least
there.
zoom
I
in
will.
on the
I will
image.
click the image. Here we go. That's as big as I'm gonna get it.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That's him.
That's
I
him.
do know him.
Viewers, if you like hardcore action movies like The Raid, check out The Night Comes for Us on Netflix.
It is. I think it's even more violent than the
I
Raid.
think it is.
It's crazy. Like, I was cringing a lot just because of how bloody that movie is. And like, if they're gonna go for Mortal Kombat level type of bloodiness,
Yeah.
it's one thing to see it in animated,
Yeah,
one
yeah,
thing to
yeah.
see it as like a CGI video game, but
Yeah.
live action is a whole nother level.
So it has a January 2021 release date. So
Well, we're less than a year away from
less
this
than-
movie.
yeah.
That movie's not coming
man,
out
I
in
can't
January
wait.
2021.
I hope it's real violent. Like if you're gonna if you're gonna do it, go all the way with it. You
Yeah.
know, let's not do a half
Yes.
measure.
Yeah,
Mortal
break
Kombat
out all
is
those
Mortal Kombat.
fingies.
All the fingies, all the spine rippings,
Yeah.
all the flesh flayings.
not-
You name it.
I'm not finding anything about this movie having finished filming, though.
Let me see if I can find that.
I am
poster.
finding everyone is reporting that they are building a Mortal Kombat universe, though.
Oh,
So
really?
To our commenter who is hoping for that.
There you go.
Sounds like that's what they're trying to do with this movie, if it can ever come out.
Everybody's trying to do that. Like, yeah, everybody wants their own cinematic universe. at
These
this
guys
point.
just want to talk about Spawn, man.
December
Spawn gonna
13th.
be in the cinematic universe.
If I may, I don't know about that, but December 13th, 2019, we have the headline: Mortal Kombat movie wraps filming.
There you go.
The cast
That's reactions,
All right, so they
so-
finished filming in December.
December.
I mean, for a movie of that budget and scope, a year should be plenty of time to
Yeah.
edit and
Fill
get
in
that
all the
thing
blood.
out the door. Yeah,
Right.
all the CG blood.
Unless they did it for real.
Real blood, yeah.
Yeah. just
Real,
a lot of broken
real
bones.
fatalities.
Yeah.
That's how hardcore they are. Okay, well, we can talk about Spawn. We can attempt to. Spawn is officially coming to
Spawn.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Spawn.
That's right.
Spawn.
And the little trailer up right now.
There is another trailer here. Early access is beginning this next week, March 17th, and Spawn is going to be voiced by Keith David, who his IMDb page thinks he is most known for The Princess and the Frog.
Interesting. Not the first credit.
What is he most known for to you personally?
Community season 6.
Me, The Thing.
For me, it's They Live.
Also, They Live.
Yeah, it's either.
Yeah.
He has that like 40-minute long rustling scene.
Yeah, that's a great fight scene. Who of the four of us are the most knowledgeable about Spawn?
I'm going to guess
not me.
Jeremy.
I'm not old enough.
I'm pretty knowledgeable about Spawn.
Yeah, how old were you when you read your first Spawn?
Oh man, probably at least like 40 or 50.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane, who created Spawn's been talking about this for like 2 years.
Getting him in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, so this is like really nice to finally see, and he looks really great. You
Yeah,
know,
he
all
looks
of the
great.
characters that they've been releasing have looked pretty good,
Yeah.
and for the most part they play pretty well. But this in particular is pretty next level. He almost looks a little OP to me.
His powers are pretty OP though, right? Like he can just make things out
Yeah, in the 90s, like the whole thing was like your character is like basically invincible and is so badass and so like whatever about it. You know, it was like this like 90s tude
Yeah.
thing that everyone was doing. And also, you know, Todd McFarlane was one of those Marvel guys who left to go to Image and kind of do his own thing. He always felt like he was being constrained. So this is him like, gloves are off, baby. I'm doing my own character. He's got his own powers. Like, sky's the limit. I can do whatever I want with him. And he was really popular for a long time.
Is this his
The-
fatality?
watch this. I wanna watch this.
fatality, Yeah.
I sort of wonder where this guy's new movie is. What's up with that?
We'll get there in a second.
Oh, he
Look
ripped
at
the skin
that.
off.
See, this is much worse than the cartoon.
I think he gives him a
Are we even
hug.
allowed to show this?
It's a sweet hug.
Showed it.
Good lord.
Hug and ripped off all his muscles.
Yeah.
Damon, you're going to get in trouble for this, man.
I'm gonna get in
It's
trouble.
David's fault,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, that's fine. What? Who's this big dragon man? Is that John Leguizamo? I know who's in the movies. I don't know who he plays.
John Leguizamo going to be in a video game?
Surely he
Sooner than
has
later,
been.
yeah.
Yeah.
Surely he has been.
Luigi.
Look up.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
People are
Luigi.
proud of
He's
this,
already Luigi.
Well, he's in the
This guy in the comments, Dr. John Zoidberg, says, did they still eventually release Ultimate, or I guess for Mortal Kombat, Complete with a K editions with all the DLC characters at some point for regular retail? I would imagine so.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
I don't know how much good that does you for an online fighting game these days. Like everyone's going to be so good at it by the time you get it.
Yeah.
What's the point?
That's true. But I'm not really a fighting game guy, but I played through the whole story mode in Mortal Kombat 11, and it's really fun. And I recommend it.
If I may, John Leguizamo has been credited in several video games.
Here we go. Such
As-
as
Sid in
The Ice Age.
Ice Age Continental Drift, Arctic Games, Ice Age Village.
Okay.
Also, he is Glowbox in one of the Rayman games.
Really?
Yeah, in Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc, according to IMDb, he was Glowbox. So, yeah, that's John Leguizamo's video game career. Anyway, that Spawn movie seems to be in development hell pretty consistently.
Yeah.
It was announced, I think, either 2017 or 2018, that it was going to be produced by Blumhouse.
Yeah.
And then it sort of stalled after that. We got casting, Jamie Foxx, Mark Wahlberg were both reported to be in the movie.
Wow.
And then it sort of stalled out, and Todd McFarlane every few months has talked about, yeah, we're still working on it, like someone else has taken a crack at the script that he wrote and things of that nature, but we
Yeah.
haven't really seen much beyond that since last
I got a
year.
picture up on the screen. Sorry to interrupt. Of
Yeah.
the character you guys were asking about is Malbogia, I think is how you say it. I don't know. I'm used to reading it, but not hearing it said aloud. Yeah. Sort of like the main antagonist.
Ooh, okay.
Look at that body.
Yeah.
It's got some
heavy.
curves on
What?
it.
What part? I can't tell where.
The face is kind of in the middle, I think. The mouth is open.
Okay.
Yeah, they do
I
that.
kinda
They
see
do that. They do that thing. Vindicator does that.
Is he like a
It's like a
demon?
little monster thing, little demon thing, little demon look.
Because I know Spawn has like ties to hell, right?
right.
So
Right?
this must be a demon from
You're an
hell.
expert after all. You're
How about that?
shortchanging yourself, buddy. You
He
know
has
it all.
ties to heaven? No, that's not right.
No. There already is a Spawn movie though, right?
There's the
that's-
HBO series.
But there was also a movie.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
John
It's really fun in like a weird bad '90s way, like the Stallone Dread movie.
Oh, wow.
Also, excuse me, it was not Mark Wahlberg. It is Jeremy Renner was cast as
Easy to
Detective
get
Twitch
them
Williams.
mixed
Yeah,
up.
the same two guys.
Sure, they're like twins.
Twins.
I'd watch that movie.
They just need to get Keith David to play him in the movie too.
Male Bogeya is what Matt Davis says. Male Bogeya, how's that?
Male Bull GEA.
Jazzy Newt points out that Keith David also did Arbiter in Halo.
That's true.
True.
That's true.
He was also Keith David in the best open world game of all time, Saints Row 4.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
I don't see how you can make a Spawn movie without just the entire Spawn being like CGI either. You know what I mean?
Just because he's, well,
He's just like a shapeshifter type.
Have someone stand in though for him.
I don't know. I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, even looking at the like live action from the original movie, it's like a little off.
Yeah.
You know, because he's supposed to be this very like supernatural entity almost. I think.
Well, Todd McFarlane, when the movie was, like when he was writing the movie and trying to get it pitched to studios, I remember talking sort of about that. The idea would be Spawn would be more in the shadows here. So I don't know to what extent the human actor would be involved. So yeah.
Gotcha.
You guys, I'm going to pull up an image for you real quick here
lay it on us.
of Ego the Living Planet.
Oh, yeah, that's from
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
And I'm going to ask you,
Okay.
if you can believe that this can be realized on screen, then I think we can stretch to
not
believe
seeing
that
it.
Spawn can happen. Look at this weirdness.
Yeah, it worked.
The whole
It
Guardians
worked.
of the Galaxy Thor stuff is so bizarre. If there's room for that in the world, there's room for Spawn, I think.
Kurt Russell is probably the best part of that movie, I think.
Spawn is definitely due for a movie. Like all of the edgy '90s characters have one now.
I mean,
Let's go
do
through 'em
we
here.
need
You got
another
your Venom?
like- yeah, do we need another Venom? I was gonna say like this is starting to sound a lot like Venom to me.
We are getting another
Venom
it's,
too.
It's cool in a similar way, but it's different. So you got like Venom, you've got Wolverine, he's got his Logan movie, you got a Judge Dredd movie that was awesome. Really, the only ones that they haven't got around to recently are Spawn and Lobo, unless I'm forgetting somebody. Do you guys remember Lobo?
I do know Lobo.
Yeah,
The name.
Lobo. He's like this cool biker dude that killed his whole planet just for funsies to see
He's
if he can
from the
do
DC
it stronger
comics.
than Superman.
Yeah.
But he looks like Wolverine.
He showed up in Krypton on Sci-Fi.
Yeah. The character
They
is
had-
basically
yeah.
just like an alien version of a Kiss
Rob Zombie.
Yes, basically.
or Rob Zombie. Yeah.
Jay Kristoff, just points out Logan was so good. You're right.
yeah,
Logan was
agreed.
so good.
I do
Agreed.
agree.
Agreed.
Jeremy, what's our next big topic for today? Let's move on.
Let's talk about Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077 updates its lady protagonist look and confirms reverse box art image. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah. Do we have like a side by side? So I'm not really. Wasn't clear to me what has been changed.
I do. Hang on.
Okay.
First, I'm going to show you the how it looked before.
Okay.
So this is the before. This was what was puzzling about it to me also, because we've seen this, right? You guys have that up on the screen.
I feel like there's going to be a goof in here.
It's, it looks cool. She's got this little like cybernetic thing going on underneath the eye and the shaved head and all that. And let me pull up the other one here. 1 second.
It's almost.
My little notepad on the background there.
Wow. Okay.
So this is what it looks like now.
I mean,
Not really that different.
it's not that different.
It's cool.
It's like a different. Yeah, it is cool.
I know they changed like kind of the line on her face where there's might have been some cybernetics. They lowered it, I believe, lowered down her face, but I don't know. It's so minor. Like,
And also, I mean, you customize your character in this game anyway. So isn't this just like
This is the
this is
default.
just an
thing.
example
Yeah.
of what you could?
This is like,
It's not like what you're actually going to look like unless you just recreate this
Yeah.
image, right?
yeah, they showed it also revealing that the new image of her, that's that image that we have up on screen, is essentially the reversible cover for the game, for the physical copy.
right.
So this
why
will be-
did they explain why they changed the look?
Not really.
Maybe they've just been like, revising
Updating
it
it.
over time. If
Yeah.
they're-
I think the
See
more
working again.
interesting takeaway is that's probably like what the fold looks like. That might be like the actual image that goes into the slipcase.
It is.
Yeah,
that's
so
what they
so
said.
that's what's cool about it is
Yeah.
like you're getting a first look at what the box art will look like on the flip side, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Do you guys often flip your image around? Because so many games do this.
Yeah, it depends on which one I like better, I guess.
Yeah, I have been more recently, but it's also created problems for my shelf because a lot
shelf
of them
problems.
hashtag shelf problems. A lot of them don't include the title on the spine sometimes. So like the Horizon Zero Dawn art, which I just reversed 2 days ago, is just some greenery So
Some greenery.
Some greenery, huh?
yeah, you don't know what you're looking at.
But that also, the fact that you customize your character in Cyberpunk is also a little bit strange to me because it's a first-person game.
Yeah.
You're rarely ever going to see this character that you.
I spent 45 minutes doing that in the Outer Worlds. So,
The Outer
you know,
Worlds.
yeah.
Oh man, so much great character customization that you never see.
Oh, my character was so weird in that game. I was
Yeah.
bummed not to see him.
Same. I had an old man running around, and I was like, "Where's the old man?"
If they have a photo mode though, and you're theoretically able to go outside of your
Sure,
body,
sure.
it would be good to have
Yeah,
your own.
that's true.
Person.
Don't you see your guy in cutscenes sometimes, or?
I think it's
don't
all
know.
told through. At least what we've seen, I think it's all told in first person so far.
Yeah, the only
they have-
non-first person stuff was like their cinematic trailers.
Yeah, and those were those were just clearly trailer setups. Yeah, whereas like cinematics we've seen in gameplay demos have, I think, always been, if not most of the time, been first person. So.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the article, it says that you're able to change their body type, their clothes, hairstyle, tattoos, makeup, skin tone, and more. And that they're allowing players to choose a body type rather than a strictly defined gender. And boy, did that set people off. Did you guys see this in the comments?
I don't ever read IGN comments, just as a rule.
I try to when it's something I've written.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. It's fairly predictable, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's sort of where the discussion goes. But I mean, Cyberpunk very clearly is, they're letting for as much freedom as possible in the character customization, so I can see why they're not trying to put
Right.
necessarily labels on anything. Like, they don't even have classes you're choosing from as your
Right.
character. It's essentially defined by what you're putting points into, is what you'll roughly be that type of character, but they're not saying you need to be a sniper type or you need to be a heavy. So it fits in line with the rest of their ethos about creating whoever you want.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what we all want, right? It's just like more customization, kind of personalizing your own experience. Yeah, everybody wants
And
it.
as many options as possible is great.
Yeah, totally. If you don't want to,
I think it looks cool. I don't know why anyone would get riled up about it, especially for a game like this. Like it's basically like the Commander Shepard Femshep thing.
Yeah,
Big deal. Like
It's
also,
already about a game about modifying your body in any number of ways.
That's what I was gonna say, right? Like if you're like weirded out by the whole gender label thing, just think about this. We're talking about cyber bodies that have freaking mantis claws that come out of the arms and stuff. You know,
Exactly.
This is a game about cybernetic transhumanism.
Yeah.
So what difference does it make who you are or what you are at this point? You can put your brain in a robot body with the strength of 5 gorillas and go crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Why just 5 gorillas?
yeah,
What's the maximum?
Well, you have to put more points.
Come on, don't get
Into the
greedy.
gorilla?
Yeah, into the gorilla,
The gorilla
skill tree. I remain excited for this game. Is everyone still excited for this game?
yes.
Jonathan?
Uh-oh.
It's okay if you're not. It's okay.
I've been less excited
That's
than
fine.
other people in the office.
That's not fine.
I
And
know.
is
I
that-
think it looks cool.
Ever all along, or just
Yeah,
something
yeah,
changed?
pretty much since the big reveals for the last 2 years. I think it looks beautiful. I think for me, especially, I've seen both E3 demos, the hour-long demos, and I'm most interested when they're exploring the city and showing like, there's a cool burning building that was the result of a war that just happened, and then they're like, and now we're gonna move into a mission where we're shooting people. And like, I kind of already know what the flow of like first-person shooter combat is. I'm so much more interested in just walking through this world, but I feel like that hasn't been the focus as much. So for me, I'm excited to jump into this game and just explore the world. I'm less excited to play another first-person shooter. But I don't love open world games like this. They sort of freak me out.
What do you mean, like this?
Well, like
'Cause
open.
You just played Horizon
like
Zero Dawn.
Yes, like a Skyrim. Skyrim or Fallout or things of this nature, where it's like an open world first person game where you can kind of go about however you want.
Okay.
That amount of choice gives me so much anxiety
Okay.
that I actively get turned off just because
Did you get that feeling with the Outer Worlds?
I did bounce from it because there were too many options for me, and even that one's a smaller, more condensed
Yeah.
version of
Yeah.
it. But I still was just like, a little too much here for me. I'm going to move on. I get why people love those games,
for sure.
and I think it's awesome. But
These games
for
have
you.
like sort of the opposite effect on me, where they like kind of soothe my anxiety. Like I'm the kind of person who will like get very like OCD about stuff, and like I'll arrange everything in a specific way or pattern, and like constantly be doing stuff like that. Or I used to be, and now I put like 100% of it into these games, and I just crawl over every inch of them, like doing every dumb little thing.
Yeah.
It just it gets it out of my system. I find it really enjoyable. The only thing I'm worried about is just how much time I'm gonna have to sink into this.
Yeah.
Because I think back on my time with The Witcher.
Yeah, for sure.
my God, like I must have played that thing for 120 hours.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jeremy, what's our next topic? We're running short on time here today.
Oh yeah, man. I have one that's kind of that's a little bit strange,
I'll allow it.
and I don't know if you guys have seen this. Let me see if I have a video that goes along with it. But are you guys familiar with Corridor Digital?
Yes.
So these guys, I've known them for a long time. They're really super talented. They do
Yeah.
super cool like VFX videos.
Yeah.
And they had done this cool deepfake thing a while ago, and I guess Snoop Dogg had seen it. Rapper Snoop Dogg. Have you heard of him?
I know
Formerly
him.
known as Snoop Lion. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite rapper, Snoop Lion.
Yeah.
He contacts him and he wants to do this video where they do a deep fake of Tupac.
Yeah.
And apparently there aren't a lot of videos of him from the 90s that are not like deinterlaced.
Right.
And kind of like a little bit difficult to for the machine to like read and understand. And you know, a lot of people point out, like this guy Story Mark, he says, I don't get why they didn't grab some stills from Tupac's film appearances, at least some of which are in high definition. The problem is like if he's got on like sunglasses and like hats and hoods and there's other people around, like it's not like an easy thing. Like, it's not like you can just go like, hey computer, just like eat these things and deep fake them. You know, like this guy Nico, he had to go and he had to find the right kind of clips.
Right.
Why he didn't use this clip, I'll never understand. I'll go ahead and put this on in the background. This is Tupac's first film appearance that I'm aware of in the film Nothing But Trouble by Dan Aykroyd.
Wow.
Made $1 million on Ghostbusters, and they said he could do anything he want, and this is what he did. He never directed a film again after this, I don't think.
One for them, one for me.
But he did bring us Tupac. You're going to be about to
Amazing.
see him here in a second, and he's here with his band Digital Underground.
Wait, Tupac was in Digital Underground?
That's right, Tupac was a backup dancer in Digital Underground, and
I
they gave him
never
a
knew
verse on the
that.
song, same song.
I
There he
learned
is!
something
What?
today.
There he is! Right there. That's him, that's Tupac.
Wow, I learned
happening
something
here?
today.
I mean, maybe they did use that clip, but it's like 2 seconds long.
Oh, he's in it a whole bunch.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it's hard to take your eyes away from Humpty Hump and from Dan
Yeah.
Aykroyd with what appears to be a penis on his nose. You know, it's difficult to look away from. Truly horrible.
I am aware of this movie, never saw this movie.
If you haven't seen
neither.
this movie,
No
you got to
idea.
go watch it immediately. If you're watching at home and you've not seen Nothing But Trouble, it is just truly bizarre.
Yeah, it
Chase
looks
is in
pretty.
it, John Candy.
Wait, so was Tupac in this before he was like Tupac?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Before he was like discovered?
No, he was not. He was not
Okay.
famous here.
That was
at
just
all.
like the weirdest like cameo. Like,
He was one Pac.
The whole deepfaking thing is
Okay.
crazy though. So these guys, they pulled it off. So they were able to deepfake Tupac
Okay.
rapping with Snoop Dogg by using clips and videos of him. They brought in a impersonator,
yeah.
Josh Haraway, who also worked on the Coachella hologram thing. Do you guys remember?
Oh,
that?
really?
Yep.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
This dude, I bet him he looks exactly like Tupac.
Yeah.
And he does all kinds of stuff, like appearances and everything, like playing him and stuff. Weird career path if he can get it. You know, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever works.
It's kind of crazy that, yeah, it doesn't take a huge amount of money to kind of bring back people from the dead, you know, in video form.
Yeah. No, it's true. But I want to. What is it? Is the final product out? Is this music video out? Has it
Yeah,
been released yet?
yeah.
It's like
I think so, right? This is
the Snoop
this
Dogg
is
video.
the video.
This is not the video. This is a clip
I-
from Nothing But Trouble, the film directed by Dan Aykroyd.
like you're looking at this is Snoop Dogg. This is like a behind the scenes video.
Yeah, so there's a behind the
Corridor,
scenes video on Corridor Digital's channel, which you should check out. Those guys are really cool dudes. Super
Right.
talented. Love those guys.
But is the final product the Snoop
Final
Dogg
part I
video?
haven't seen. I don't think
Okay.
it's available yet.
Okay.
So we gotta wait and see how it turns out. But they've got some clips and images of it. You know,
Yeah, they showed like a little.
it looks pretty
bit of
convincing.
footage.
And
Yeah,
they had done this before, like I said, with
Keanu.
Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's pretty bonkers how it works. And it kind of raises the question, what celebrity would you like to drag out of their casket, scan and 3D model, then make a grim marionette out of so they can appear in music videos in the MCU and Adam Sandler movies and Chilling Adventures of Sabrina or whatever?
I'll tell you, this is what they should do with Harrison Ford for Indiana Jones 5. Just deep fake him to the
Yeah.
movie. I don't want another old Indiana Jones.
Oh man, yeah.
People who can do good impressions voice-wise,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I wouldn't worry about it.
They could just put his face on a stunt double's body. They should just sew his face on a stunt double's body. Like,
I mean, they did that even for. I think they did that for Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's super well done and like in a tasteful way, but there are the scenes where he's driving in a car chase or whatever. It's not a car chase per se in that scene, but he's driving his limousine, and it's a lot of stunt driving. So they swapped out the driver's face with Hugh Jackman's face, and like you can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things. It's like when it's a dead person, you're already looking for like faults, you know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think the most recent example I can think of in movies is in Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
They did young Luke and Leia, and I didn't think that was actually very convincing.
No, they tried to hide it by both having them in helmets.
And having it dark.
And it was still a little too fuzzy.
It was like, now we're having an animated flashback in the middle of this movie.
The Star Wars franchise has been guilty of that before then, even with especially Rogue One is probably the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, like, I never thought Tarkin looked good in Rogue One. I remember coming out of that movie and a few people were like, that was incredible. And I'm like, it's a very obviously animated man.
Yeah.
I mean, my girlfriend, she had never seen a Star Wars other than Rogue One before, and she had no idea. There's that kind of like foreknowledge. Like I said, if you know that person actually isn't there, then you're looking for it.
That
I also knew going into the movie that there was an animated character, so I was like, that's the one. But I think a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah, that was the thing with Furious 7, because Paul Walker died during filming, and so they brought his brothers in as body doubles and to help with the face mapping.
Right.
And I think there are scenes where it works great, but after rewatching, I've seen that movie now like 10 times since it came out. I love those movies. And you can start really to notice the seams in a couple of those shots for sure.
Right. But it doesn't like totally ruin the experience for you, right?
No. Yeah, it hasn't been a problem. I mean, they do it a lot, especially in the Marvel movies now. They always are de-aging people.
Yeah.
It's a varying success,
but I mean, the de-aging stuff has been like somewhat good. It depends on their method. Sometimes it's straight up a face swap. And then sometimes they're actually taking the original face and de-aging it like Irishman or whatever.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise has figured out how to do that somehow in real life to just de-age himself.
Incredible.
It's really impressive.
Speaking of Star Wars, do you want to talk about this other story here? Ex-Doctor Strange director, Scott Derrickson. It was reported that he wants to make a Star Wars Hoth horror movie. I think a more accurate representation would be that he casually mentioned that an R-rated Star Wars Hoth horror movie would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, he was telling noted film producer Joel McHale's son. He was, of course, Kevin Feige. So
Jimmy McHale.
Worked out.
And what's the name of this director? Scott Derrickson. He was going to direct the next Doctor Strange, but then has since left the project.
Parted for creative differences, and then I don't think is attached to anything currently. Obviously, has a long history of horror. And so him casually mentioning to someone...
I like what we're chosen to use for B-roll here.
like on this Star Wars horror game.
I'm showing B-roll of just all kinds of different games that take place on Hoth.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever make a Star Wars horror movie.
From this really great site called IGN. You guys heard of it?
I like that site.
I've heard of it.
I wish there were room for R-rated Star Wars stories to be told.
Yeah.
I think even the comics go darker than
they can
the movies
definitely get
have,
dark. I was just reading the Dr. Aphra comics, and she actually has a couple side characters who are they love murder, and they don't stop talking about how they want to dismantle people. And it's like, that gets a little dark, but Star Wars is going to remain as family friendly as possible for as long as Disney can allow that.
Yeah.
Though you see the reverse of that, obviously, on the Warner Brothers DC side. They've kept mostly PG-13, except for now Birds of Prey was rated R, and they are developing a
Joker as well.
Joker, and they're developing a horror-based spin-off of Aquaman. There hasn't really been much
You just
movement
made
on
that up.
Oh, no, you're right.
It's called The Depths. It's based on, I forgot what those characters' names are.
The Trench.
The Trench,
The Trench.
The Trench monsters, essentially, they're making a horror spin-off there. So they're willing to, test the waters a bit with genre.
How did the story break? So you said that Scott Derrickson told this to Joel McHale's son, like, over dinner?
Yeah.
I'll pull up the original story to sort of go through the backdrop of it.
Yeah, and then it was reported as like he pitched it to Disney.
He just tweeted it, and then he took it down. He tweeted again. He goes, "I didn't pitch this. I was asked at dinner last night by Joel McHale's kid, famous producer, son of Joel McHale, what Star Wars movie I would make, and my answer was an R-rated Hoth movie in the vein of The Thing, but that will never happen."
And so what? Did
Yeah,
Joel
so-
McHale's son
And then it turned into
call
an
him-
international
Well,
incident.
he tweeted in the deleted tweet, excuse me, at 2:47 a.m. according to our screenshot, just asked what kind of Star Wars movie I would make. And so he was asked in real life, and he decided to tweet this as an idea. But I think people saw that first line and thought, oh, he must have been asked by Kathleen
This is why he
Kennedy.
left Doctor Strange.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, this becomes the problem where so many people in Hollywood will just say, oh, I'd love to be in a Marvel movie, and then it's suddenly John Krasinski could be Mr. Fantastic, and no, he just likes the character.
Right.
So you get this weird cycle now of movie reporting where it's someone offhandedly mentions an interest in a thing, then it becomes they're doing that thing, and then it has to be they've had no meetings about that thing, but just
Yeah.
like the idea. And so this sort of snowballed within a like 6-7 hour period, maybe
Yeah.
even 12 hours, and then.
Somewhat related to that, actually, did you hear about what Vin Diesel said about Thor 4?
Yeah.
Like Guardians are going to be in it.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know, he's like, yeah, the director told me. He doesn't say Taika Waititi for some reason.
Yeah.
He's like-
The director.
Well, I'll pull up the exact quote
Okay.
for that one because it is interesting. It is very much I don't know if he's saying exactly what he means to be saying here.
yeah.
While you're looking that up, I just want to read a couple comments that I thought were sort of funny. Like, this guy says, so the guys just want to make an R-rated monster movie and use the Star Wars name to sell it. No wonder Marvel kicked this guy to curb. Has this guy not seen the Joker?
Yeah.
Right?
Like I was saying, I wish there was room for like R-rated Star Wars stories because Star Wars is such a cool setting.
Yeah.
And you could just take all sorts of stuff and you just put it in the world of Star Wars. It would be very appealing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. This other guy says, imagine telling, and it's called The Fear 4815. Imagine telling an 8-year-old that they can't see a Star Wars movie. It's like, imagine telling them they can't see Deadpool,
Or-
Birds of Prey, this Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
animated feature we talked about earlier, Logan. You know,
Exactly,
there's
yeah.
so many, like, there can be products for both, I
what I
think,
think.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially as so many of these things have now become generational. Like
Yeah,
there
for
is
sure.
new audiences that love Star Wars and older audiences that love Star Wars. It's okay to make things for both audiences.
Dude, the whole recent trilogy was basically them going like, you like those movies from the 70s, right?
Yeah.
What if we get a shovel and we dig up the corpses of the people that used to be in that and just present them to you? What do you think? Do you like that? Does that make you smile? Why did they need to do that?
I don't
Why couldn't
know.
they do
It
something
didn't make
new?
me smile, though.
What was that for? It did make you smile?
It did not.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
okay.
smiled now and then.
Smiled.
Got a few smiles out of it.
So that Thor tweet, or the Thor quote, excuse me, from
Yeah.
Vin Diesel, he told comicbook.com in a recent interview ahead of Bloodshot, quote, I am waiting and excited for my friend James Gunn to knock this next one out of the park. He took the Suicide Squad, so he's about to embark on it being Guardians 3. Thor will also, the director talked to me about Thor, will incorporate some of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Then he went, that'll be very interesting. Nobody knows. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
I mean, so
People just need to stop tweeting.
No, he said this in an interview.
Interview. They just
he
need to
said
stop doing
interview.
interviews.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
but to be fair, wouldn't it be weird if the Guardians weren't?
Yeah, I mean, it's so clearly set up after
Like
Endgame.
that's when we last left these characters, they were
Yeah.
together.
And James Gunn, though, he also said that didn't have plans for Thor in his version of Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
He
right?
said that Endgame didn't alter his plans
Okay.
for 3.
Yeah.
So he could have known that, because he was obviously involved in the creative discussions. He's sort of been like a creative figurehead in a lot of recent Marvel MCU
Yeah.
stuff. He probably knew some of the things happening in Endgame and
Yes.
could plan his script around that. But it also doesn't mean Thor is going to be in the movie for the whole time. Like, James Gunn could easily make a funny joke in there that Thor is there and then has to leave to do something.
Oh, no, I think it's the opposite. No,
Or
he's saying-
sorry, the Guardians could be there and then they have to go leave.
I think Thor has to be in the movie the whole time. And
For Thor, I meant for Guardians 3, because he
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
didn't write Thor.
I can imagine it like opening with a montage of
Yeah.
like Thor and the Guardians like doing some crazy adventures, and then they kick Thor out, and that's like the intro scene.
Yeah.
Opening credits, basically.
Yeah, as much as a fun adventure with all of them together would be cool, I also want to see their respective stories told individually.
I just want more Korg.
Korg and Meek are
Or
the best, yeah.
Morgan Meek.
sure.
That's what I want. Well, what about Christian Bale? You saw that they said he's going to be playing the villain.
Yeah, in another
so-
interview, Tessa Thompson
I think-
was like,
yeah.
Christian Bale's the villain after all the reports that he was in talks for the film, and so that let that out of the bag too. Yeah, it's so weird to find out about these movies by what someone says.
I
on the
mean,
carpet.
all the actors like leading up to Endgame are like, oh, we can't say anything, and now like after Endgame's out, all these actors are just spilling
Whatever.
the secrets.
I really like though Christian
Got a little
Bale.
clip of Christian Bale being a villain here.
Him diving
in the
into a
background.
villain role is really fun to me.
Yeah.
for this. I think he'll know how to ham it up.
Who do you think he's gonna play? Are you guys Thor experts?
No.
No.
Not
Is
Thor.
anybody in the audience that's watching an expert on Thor? I'd really be interested in knowing your opinions. Like I was thinking, there's one character, Cole Borson, who is like his uncle, and he's like Odin level powerful.
Okay.
Wow.
And so that could be really interesting. Or there's this character, I think it's pronounced Pericus, who is sort of like an anti-Asgardian. And with Ragnarok having occurred, sorry if that's a spoiler and you haven't seen the movie that's literally called Ragnarok, there is like an opening for there to be like an entirely new, kind of team of villains against him, maybe more than one. But I'd like to see Ares. So Ares is a character that's really big in Marvel. It's kind of the same.
It's not the God of War.
He is.
Okay.
Right. So like that's what's confusing.
Greek,
like
isn't
Marvel
it?
and DC both use like the Greek and Roman gods because they're sort of like public domain. So there's like we already saw Ares in Wonder Woman. This is obviously not the same Ares, but it is.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Hercules is in
Hercules
Marvel
is a big
universe.
Marvel character too,
Yeah.
which I would love to see in
That'd be
the
very
movie if that
fun.
were possible.
Yeah.
But it's like if I had to pick between Ares and like Ulik the rock troll, like I just can't see him as
Look
that.
that up.
Like,
Is that a real guy? Ulik the Rock Troll?
oh, it is.
I believe it.
That's right.
One of the commenters thinks he's playing Gore with 2 R's.
Yeah, Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It kind of opens
looks
the door
pretty
to a lot of
freaky,
different
yeah.
kind of storylines that they could go with.
The God
Gore is a newer character, not really like a.
Well, we do know they're adapting at least somewhat the newer run with the Mighty Thor with
Right.
Jane Foster coming back. So.
Right.
Michael Odom said Grey Gargoyle. That'd be pretty tight. I'd be into that. But he's like he's small time compared to Gore the God Butcher. Do you hear how metal that sounds?
Yeah.
Say it out loud. See how it feels.
Gore, the God Butcher.
I like it.
You feel that?
Yeah, I feel
Pretty
it.
metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5% cooler.
Pretty metal.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Christian Bale under like a lot of makeup or special effects stuff though.
Didn't you see him as a Vice? Makeup.
Yeah, that was actually a
Wow.
lot
Yeah.
of makeup.
Yeah.
Vice.
One of
the
his
God
best
Butcher.
villain roles too.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
God
yeah, that's
Butcher. Dick Cheney, the God Butcher.
Yeah, I mean, he goes method for whatever role he's in. So whatever he's gonna be, I'm
That's
excited to see
true.
what he does. Like how much weight he gains or loses for this role.
He's not doing that anymore, right? I
Oh,
think
right, he did say he
co-
stopped, yeah.
After Vice, he's like, I'm not
It's
like
too much, yeah.
adding a lot of pounds for
That's fair.
anything.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
No.
God Butcher looks like the healthy amount of weight though.
There is a sort of a habit for comic book movies to cast an amazing actor in the villain, and then they just kill them off. And they're only in one movie. And so that's always kind of a shame. Like Hela in Ragnarok. Kate Blanchett was awesome, but
I don't know if they killed her off.
We never
I know,
saw
I
a
know,
body.
I know.
In the rule of cinema, we never
I
saw a
know,
body.
but she's not the only example. There's also a villain in another recent comic book movie who was awesome. Probably wouldn't be making a return. I don't want to spoil anything, but it happens.
Oh, I know who
it
you're
happens.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
You guys have your secrets.
Well, they got time travel and everything now, so anything's possible.
that's
Right?
true.
They
Man,
got-
Thor
they got a
Ragnarok
whole
is so
nother-
good.
They got a whole nother generation to reach with this superhero movie twice a week thing that we've been doing for 10 years.
Yeah. There's Hela right there.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, we had a lot of fun today. I hate to cut us off. I know we're having a lot of fun. I have a kid and a nanny I have to get home to, or it literally
excuses.
costs me money if I don't leave. So I'm going to cut us off right here. But
Wait, we need to do one thing.
what's
real
that?
quick.
Okay.
that's
Damon
right.
can leave. It's fine.
I told Jonathan that he can plug his other show on here.
Oh, yeah.
You did.
It's rad, and I love this show. It's called Power
Podcast Beyond is our weekly PlayStation show.
Ranking. That
No,
one, Jonathan.
we're currently so we have a weekly show called Power Ranking. Where traditionally, sorry.
Just my nose is in your show.
Just Your Nose, great. That's our new show, Just My Nose, where we ask you
Smells
to
a
guess.
great show.
IGN News, I like it. No, our show Power Ranking, every week we pretty much run down the top 5 of a ranking based on viewer votes and submissions on social media and YouTube and everything. Right now we are running a month-long, essentially, Power Ranking face-off to decide who is the best video game character of all time. So we got millions and millions of votes in a face-off that we had on IGN.
I have the bracket up on the screen right now.
And we now have the top 64 that is seeded from all of those votes. So these are the top 64 vote getters of that original face-off tool, and now we're going to need your help over the next few weeks bringing this bracket down to whoever is the actual best video game character of all time. So we're running these polls on IGN.com, on our social channels, I believe.
On Twitter and Snapchat, yeah.
Twitter and Snapchat. On YouTube, we'll be doing weekly shows for the next month or so, running down each new phase of the bracket until we get to who is the best video game character of all time. But this is, of course, not our best video game character. It is the audience's best video game character. So you need to help us decide. Go vote. Go to all of our platforms, and we have a ton of polls running.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just at a glance, who do you think are the top 2 here?
Top 2 where?
Toad.
Definitely Toad.
It's got to be Toad.
Tingle.
One of the Battletoads.
Is Tingle on this list?
Better be.
Oh my God.
Otherwise,
The
we
list
messed
is
up.
void if Tingle's not in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to write him in. He's the dark horse.
Okay. All right, make sure you vote in the face-off. We will see you tomorrow. We are live here on NG Plus, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching.
Go home to your kid.
Are you guys talking about...